tough week from a standpoint that, you open up on Thursday against South Dakota State on the road in Brookings, and it's kind of a tricky turnaround because you're playing a team that you're driving to go play, and you're going to get back at 2 a.m. and then literally guys got class Friday morning, you got to have practice, and then you got to turn around and play a Saturday game. So, first that South Dakota State game, honestly, just a really disappointing game for a lot of levels. But the thing that we're just trying to get is just more of a defensive mindset. It is clear that defensively for the Summit League right now, we are not playing to the level that we need to play. We're doing other things, I think, pretty well, but like you can't let teams shoot the percentage you're shooting and think you're going to have success. Like, that's just insanity. Like, it's not going to happen. So, you can do a couple different things. You can try, we got to change this up, and we've got to, maybe try some different kind of defenses. The truth is, in my opinion, you got to play harder, and you got to do a better job winning one-on-ones. And there's really nothing to fix that other than, bowing your neck and competing harder. And then trying to also learn to continue to get better at not getting hit by screens and on your closeouts and winning these one-on-ones. And I just think against South Dakota State, the floodgates opened early. Our attention a lot was on Clough. And what didn't happen is we just didn't do a very good job guarding the ball. They got downhill on us early and often, and it was just way too easy. And then what was disappointing was offensively, it really took away from our offense, impacted our defense, and then our offense really got to a point where it wasn't a thing where we were acting as a team offensively. Fast forward to that turnaround. So you have a disappointing loss. You have a Friday turnaround. Kansas City plays in Fargo. They probably sleep in. They cruise up here. They got a good night's rest. I definitely was concerned about what that Saturday was going to look like with Kansas City. They're very good, very talented. They were picked to win the league. They returned 5 starters. And I just thought we had a better mindset defensively. And the guys competed harder. We were more connected and more engaged on the defensive side of the floor, and it makes a difference. It just makes a difference when you have the right mindset of how hard you got to play. And we're not turning the ball over nearly as much. Our assist-to-turnover ratio has really changed. We're still getting offensive boards at about I think it's a high 30% to almost 40% clip on missed shots. There's things we're doing really well. We've got to continue to make defense important. If we do that, I think this season can continue to change for us. But if we keep going back to really having to push guys to play harder on that side of the floor, we're going to have the same things happen. So that's our job as head coaches. We got to continue to push the buttons and find ways. And the mistakes we're making, we got to put them in situations of practice where we're continually improving and getting better on those things. But they've also got to take some accountability on, hey, these are things I could be doing to play harder. And those sort of things. So it's been a difficult mix. It's been frustrating, but also it's been fun to see some of these improvements we're making as well. So, like I said before, I like this team. I like what we can do, but the defensive side of it is something that has really been something that's been a struggle for us. But good way to finish on Saturday. But another great 2 tests coming up these 2 days.
What have you seen from Panoam's growth here as the season's gone on?
Yeah, his God-given just abilities are fantastic, and like you got to see him there. Like, he's just an awesome guy to be around. Like, he's a fun guy to be around. I think, this year for him, it's the first year that I think, last year in college when you're not in that rotation sometimes, and he's even said it where maybe he just didn't really feel like he was a part of it. He wasn't involved the way that you normally are. So you lose that intensity and that engagement. And I think this year he's really learning how important that intensity and that engagement is. And when he is engaged and when he has that intensity on both ends of the floor, he is a difference-making player. And his abilities, his ability to move and guard, play with pace, and all these things are all dependent on him coming out and playing with a mindset of, I've got to play as hard as I can every possession. When he does that, he's exceptional, and we're a lot better team because he can guard the ball. And just having that having that impacts our defense, having a guy that can really get up on the ball and pressure the ball and not get hit by screens. When he doesn't get hit by screens, he's a lot better. And that's a lot of our guys. But like the attention teams are really paying to Trayson right now. They're not helping off him. They're not leaving the tag on ball screens. They're staying with him a lot. So it opens up opportunities for other guys in driving lanes and space and bigger gaps. And he's really taking advantage of that. So, it's good to see. He's got to keep that mindset up, because when he does have it, he's a difference-making type of guy on both sides of the floor.
Coach, as you said, the importance on defense, you guys are going up against some bigs that can pass the ball, especially on Saturday. How important is it that your guys are, making sure that those passing lanes are closed off when you're going up against teams like that?
Yeah, I haven't, and we're talking about Saturday, and I'm going to be a coach in a truest form here. I'm only really concerned about USD. I mean, it's all I've watched, because, it doesn't matter yet on Saturday. To add to your question, I have seen them play. Oh, they're awfully good, and they space you out. They shoot it really, really well. They're very, very difficult to guard from what I can see so far. I just haven't put a lot of attention to them. And I know this, when you're playing a team that has 5 guys that all can shoot it, when you got a guy like Jackson who passes it so well as a big, like, it really forces you to be a great defensive team and not make, you can't get caught over helping, you can't get caught not rotating, you can't get caught not doing your job. If you do, it just seems like they're really making teams pay because they shoot it so well, and they're really, really skilled. So that's what I know without really watching them at all, just kind of on passing. And when we've watched them play against other teams that were playing like they just played USD, that's kind of what I've noticed. But like, I see this USD team, and I'm like, offensively, man, they just have a lot of different weapons, a lot of different talented guards. They shoot it very well, and they can really get it going. And then defensively, they cause you problems because they just play a different style that we don't see in our league very often. They press every make, every miss, every dead ball. There's different looks they're giving you, and it's about making the right play and being disciplined. So two really great challenges coming up ahead of us.
And, with going up against USD, and facing a defense like that, how important is, though, to see the offense start to, step up? I know you guys have had some struggles shooting, but seeing them, like you said, attack those lanes.
Yeah, attack. I think the biggest thing is don't settle for something just because you're wide open on that early first shot, right? Don't just settle for quick ones. And there's a couple guys for us that if they're open and it's early and they're open, yeah, absolutely. We want them being aggressive because that's kind of who they are. But it's understanding who you are and what your game is and then trying to make the right play with that. And a big part of it with them is not getting caught up in it and still get the shots that we want to get. Yep.
Thank you, Coach.
I'm sorry.
So I'm going to jump back ahead to Saturday here a little bit with the NDSU matchup. From what you've seen from the Bison so far, first off, what do you think about kind of your thoughts on the rivalry with them, and also how well you guys kind of match up with them from what you've seen so far?
Yeah, it's an awesome rivalry, right? Because you don't get this everywhere in college settings all the time, especially the way conferences have kind of changed and this and that. But like, it's awesome to have a rivalry where it's this close. And with that much history and tradition to it. So I love it, and it's fun to be a part of that. They're very good. How do we match up with them? I think we match up with them okay. I think it's how are we going to play defensively is going to really have a lot to do with the success we have in that game. Like, if we come in and think we're going to outscore these guys, we're probably not of the right mindset. They've got a lot of weapons, and it kind of runs through Jackson. Just been really impressed with him from what I've seen of him. Just his poise, his ability to pass, but his ability to shoot, doesn't get sped up. Very, very, very good player, but then he makes everyone around him a lot better. And they've really totally bought into how they're playing and what they're doing every day. And I think that's why they've had a lot of success as of late. So it'll be an awfully big challenge for us and a great opportunity.